Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve.
Hello, friends. Hello, viewers around the world. You're welcome to SSM Friday International Update. My name is Godwin Iweajunwa, and I'm here with my colleagues, my coordinators, Olayinka Raji from Lagos, Nigeria. You're welcome. This beautiful Friday.
Yes, so good morning, Mark. Good morning, viewers around the world. Welcome to our Friday program on SSM.
Nice.
I'm glad
you're welcome. Great. So a lot to talk about, Raji, but let's bring in George Chuku from Toronto, Canada. Georgie, we need to hear your voice. Georgie, your volume. Okay, while George is fixing that, Raji, yesterday, but let's do a quick one on the breaking news. There's a breaking news here now. George, can you hear us? Can you hear us now? Can you? Okay, Raji, there is a breaking news that just came in. I don't know if you heard about it. Hossein Salami, the commander of the Iranian Islamic Revolution Group, was killed this morning by Israel's strike. And that's the most senior Iranian leader to die in a recent attack. Raji, did you hear that story? We just got that before we came into the studio. What do you have about that story, Raji?
What right has Israel to unilaterally start killing other people in other countries? What right, what audacity do they have? Who gave them that right? Is the whole world so chicken that they can't even say anything about Israeli intransigence? This is another distraction trying to muddy the whole situation in the Middle East. There's a genocide ongoing in Gaza with a lot of, with more than 100,000 bodies still under the rubble in Gaza.
Gaza, okay.
Israel has entered Syria, has entered Lebanon.
George is coming in. Let's see if George has his mic checked now.
Okay, it's mic check. Mic check. Is it okay now?
Mic check is okay. Nice. It's good to hear you. You're welcome, George.
Okay. Welcome, viewers from around the world on our Friday show. It's going to be a great one.
Good. Yes, Raji, sorry to cut you off like that. Continue. George, we are talking about the breaking news. Hossein Salami, the commander of the Iranian Islamic Revolution Group, was killed this morning. Salami was 65 years old. He was known to be a hardliner. He took real hard stance for a lot of things. And now they say Israel launched an attack and got him. So Raji is giving us his views on that. Raji, go ahead.
So Hussein Salami is a hardliner. Benjamin, who has been declared a war criminal, has a right to decide who he has to kill, who he can kill with impunity. Eh? You are blaming, saying that Salami is a hardliner. Is that the justification for his mother? For his mother? There are so many things that are going wrong in the Middle East, and Israel is the culprit. Israel is the serious threat to stability, to the peace in the Middle East. And he's being allowed to do anything he wants to do with no reproach. The United Nations is not able to talk to it. The US is supporting every action that Israel takes. No, it is not right.
Well, we know that Trump has also warned against such attacks, but also take note that he says that why they took this attack was because of the Iranian policy on nuclear, all of those stories. George, what do you have on this breaking news? Hossein Salami.
You know, the funniest part of it is that here is a little Israel, less than 4 million people, being attacked all around, being masterminded by many of his enemies. But systematically, they have been able to go after their enemies, and especially those that are so openly, declaring war against them, and they're eliminating them one by one. Look at what happened in Lebanon. And now look at what's happening even in Iran itself, who has declared that they want to annihilate Israel. So when you think about this, you can condemn it all you want to. But if my enemy gives me an opportunity to wipe them out, I will. Because it's a set of war. They're doing missile, they're trying to create a nuclear weapon, and mostly they have sworn that they want to annihilate Israel. And you think Israel is supposed to sit back, smile at them, fold their hands. Let me tell you something. Come against me and come against my family. I will come against you with the best that I have. And that's what Israel is doing. And kudos to them.
So let me talk to Joy's accusation that Iran has nuclear weapons. Iran does not have any nuclear weapons. In fact, Iran,
they're trying to.
Iran has consistently been put itself under the International Atomic Agency. Israel has more than 4,000 nuclear warheads. It's not under any control of the International Atomic Agency.
Because Israel is intelligent. They are emotionally intelligent. Iran is considered emotionally unintelligent. And a man who is willing to kill you and kill himself is not a man that we're supposed to have, nuclear arsenal in their territory. So that's what it is. What it is.
What morality is so warped now?
It is.
Warped.
It's not warped. They are at war. If you declare war against me,
Iran is not a threat to Israel. Israel is a threat to Iran.
Well, the war is on. During wartime, I get your generals.
There's no war. Is there a war between Iran and Israel?
Iran declared war against Israel. Who is funding what do you call them again?
Who is funding Israel? Who is funding Israel terrorism all over the world? Who is funding it?
America is funding them because they're allies. So Russia is also helping with Iran, and Iran is helping with Gaza and all these other places. What we're saying here is this: like it or not, they declare war against them, and as long as there is war against them, what is going to happen?
There's no war between Israel and Iran.
Reggie, let me put something to perspective, gentlemen. The breaking news says that Israel launched an attack on Iranian nuclear facilities. Now, yes, so you're wrong to say Iran doesn't have nuclear arrangement. They do. It was in the process of that attack on the facilities that this man, Hossein Salami,
what gives Israel the right to attack another country's facilities? What gives Israel the right?
If you threaten to kill me,
why Israel
if you threaten to kill me and annihilate me, every opportunity that I have.
No. What morality is what?
It's war morality. It's
Rather,
called war
rather
morality.
than looking for peace, we are very happy. The human being is very, very happy when there's war, which is very, very sad.
So I'll encourage you know that Iran doesn't want peace.
At the moment, there are more
They
than a
don't want
million
peace.
people. There are more than a million people under threat of starvation, under genocide. Now Israel is now bringing another distraction. Nobody is talking about what is happening anymore in Gaza. There are more than 100,000 bodies under the rubble in Gaza. Nobody is talking about it.
Yeah, we're not talking about it simply because the people who sponsored them to attack me, I am going to the root cause and I am annihilating the root causes. When I annihilate the root causes, then all the attacks around me might cease. As long as Iran is sponsoring terror groups to go after Israel, Israel have the right to defend themselves, kill all their generals.
The greatest terrorist countries in this world today is between Israel and the United States. No other country sponsors terrorism except Israel, because Israel is a terrorist country with the most advanced terrorist.
It's a breaking news. Let's look more into that as time goes on. But anyway, viewers, you're welcome to our Friday International Update. The breaking news is that Hossein Salami, the commander of the Israeli Islamic Revolutionary Guard Group, has been killed. Israel was on an attack on Iranian nuclear facilities, and in the process, they got the head of that revolutionary group. So we'll continue to look into those updates. George, let's come into something from your end too. Donald Trump's new travel ban on some countries, 12 countries, have started. It took effect last Monday that just passed. What are the gains and advantages and disadvantages of this? Because I think that this might not be too good for some people that are probably not. I mean, they have good intention. They want to come to America for business or something, and now they find themselves in these lists. George, do you have anything on that?
Well, the only thing I have, yes, it's in effect because, I mean, his first term, you saw that Donald Trump was anti-Muslim. That's his rhetoric. He's not hiding it. And if you see most of the countries that are being banned, they have some kind of way, have something affiliated with, either terror groups, criminality, or Muslim groups. So, and when you talk about Donald Trump, there are no justification to the things that he does. So that's all I'm going to say about that, because he does what he thinks when he wakes up in the morning. And then we can explain it later, whether there are pros or cons, because he doesn't think about those when he declares war against anybody. So when it comes to Donald Trump, I will say there are no justifications for his declaration of these 12 nations and limited on others. And it will continue to happen. Because he wake up tomorrow morning, another idea will come to his head, and then he will institute it and implement it. So what can we say about that?
What can we say about that? Before Raji comes in, let's bring in our diva, the beautiful diva has joined us, Bidi Nana from Lagos, Nigeria. Bidi, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, viewers all around the world. Sir Raji, Sir George, nice to see you guys again today.
And nice to see you. You're shining bright this morning. And look at your hair flying all over the place. Are we on the wrong way?
It's good.
Are we on the wrong way?
Tell us, Raji, this travel ban. But anyway, what I heard also was, George, they said those that have gotten visas, those from that 12 country, and viewers, those 12 countries are, we should state them so people can know, Chad, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen, Afghanistan too. And I think those are the countries, Chad. So they said those that have had visa before this time, before last Monday, can still come in if you're from those places. But no more visas will be issued from henceforth for those 12 countries. Raji, thank God Nigeria is not in that list. What do you think?
That list is so funny. Apart from Haiti, I don't think that they will have a lot of people coming from all the other countries combined.
Okay.
Now, let me talk to the terrorism that Sir George mentioned. You know,
No.
Nigeria.
Sorry. Let's talk. We're on a different topic. If
No,
we go back to something,
it is because of the ban. The ban. I'm talking about the ban, to the ban.
okay, ban.
Yes,
Okay.
to the ban. Yes.
Okay.
Now, you know, when you go into the media, you hear a lot about Nigerians being scammers. But when you look at it specifically, you realize that the number of Nigerians who are being scammers is less than 0.0001%. It's the same with terrorism, Muslim terrorists, and all those things. The Muslim Islamic terrorism is an Israeli American construct. When you look at it very well, you find out that the number of almost all the Islamic terrorist groups, most of which came out of Pakistan and Afghanistan, were sponsored by the CIA. So it is a construct. You can see that there's no way that ISIS has ever attacked any American institution or Israeli institution because it's an American construct. So banning these people because of Islamic terrorism is very, very funny. It's very, very funny. How many people are coming to the US from Congo, from Equatorial Guinea? How many of them? Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 per annum. So this ban is just against Haiti, especially, not those other countries mentioned.
Thank you, Raji. So, viewers, that's we did a chart, a diagram of this whole ban. So, those of you that are following us are from any of these countries, take note that now henceforth.
But there is a common denominator between all these countries that have been mentioned. If you look at it, Sudan is not Sudan, Somalia, Yemen, Burma, Afghanistan, Iran, Eritrea, Libya, Chad, Equatorial Guinea, and the Republic of Congo. Most of them are in a political or some kind of turmoil in their countries, including Haiti. And most of the people want to jump out from their countries to many other places. So, and that's what he's trying to do, to stop those who want to jump out from these countries into. That's his excuse. And I'm not saying that what he said is right, but you look at them, most of them, they have turmoil in their countries, and many people would like to escape to go to other places.
Let me talk to the situation in Haiti, which is which is a situation that has been caused by US itself. Since around 18 something, Haiti has been under the pressure, the ambush of the United States up to today. Haiti, United States control more than 50% of Haiti today. So all the turmoil in Haiti has been caused by the United States, by them getting into Haiti, deposing their president, legally, democratically elected president, and taking him out of the country, and installing a dictator. Yes.
Okay.
So,
BD, the lady in our midst, what will you say about this list travel ban? What's your, I think you can see that on the screen, Haiti and all the rest. What will you say about this?
Honestly, for the first time, I was really happy that Nigeria did not make the list. Honestly, I was really happy because you hardly can see anytime America is making such ban that Nigeria will not make the list. At least this is the first time, and it's a good thing for us. And like if you look at all these states that made this list, they are mostly states that are unrest. They have one problem or the other. I think United States is actually thinking about their security. That is what I think here. Because most of these countries that have banned from getting into United States of America have issues in their country. So probably they wouldn't want, to leave stones unturned because allowing these people into the country could actually bring another insecurity problem into the United States of America. That's what I think. But I'm happy that Nigeria did not make it. That's just my own thing.
Yes, Nigeria did not make it. Well, but those that have made the list, it's sad. The freedom of movement should be applied to every human being, and we don't. For me, you don't use one man's sin to judge everybody. You can't say because somebody is a terrorist from a particular country, now everybody in that country are terrorists. So I think it's a rash move for me. I mean, I'm just giving my small view. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, it might not be good, but at least, honestly, I must be frank with you. If we start saying that, oh, we won't use one to judge another, people will get, comfortable with allowing some certain things go on in their country. Now, if you really want to travel around, you should first put your country in order. Do you understand? But when you start thinking that, oh, if we allow such things to happen in our state, it might affect us interacting with other countries, then you people will do everything to make sure such thing does not come up in your country. But when you allow such things come up in your country and you now find a safer place, another place, do you understand? Every other people will let it go. And before you know it, the whole world will be messed up. So they should go and fix their country.
99% of the strife and tribulation happening in all those countries have been caused by United States policies.
Everything is United States. Everything is United States. Allah Raji's book. I know Allah Raji's book. Even if it's not being,
look at
it's the fault of the US. Wait now. If it is the fault of the US where we are unable to kill rams during their festival in Nigeria, it is US fault. So everything in Allah Raji's book, US is at fault. So let's accept it.
Anyway, it's sad. Now let's come to the tragedy that happened.
Go ahead, Massive Man.
Raji might be right.
Let's come to
Raji might be right. If you don't like the policy, they should do something about it. But when the United States makes that policy and they keep quiet and it affects them, so who would they blame? Do you understand? They might be making the policy in the United States, but they should kick against it. But when they don't kick against it, it works against them. The United States will not take blame of your problem. The other third world countries should learn how to stand up and say no to some policies that are not favorable to them. So what is happening in Nigeria today? Nigerians are keeping quiet. We know that it's IMF, World Bank that is fueling most of the things that is happening in Nigeria. And Nigerians are keeping quiet. Now tomorrow you come and blame USA. No, you blame yourself because you allow it.
Okay, thank you. Talk. Gentlemen, let's dive into the tragedy that happened yesterday. We woke up to hear the Air India flight that crashed. We saw, let's see a clip before we go into the story. Sad news. So this was the moment that crash happened. Air India flight now bound for London, and it was having 240 people on board. Flight 171 plummeted to the ground. Boom! Just when it took off from the airport. And very sad. So what we have here from our small observation is the flight crashed right in the middle of a medical college in a part in India they call Meghani. And the airline said the passengers were about 230 passengers, 2 pilots, 10 crew members in all. That's the sum total of everybody there. Now, interestingly, there was a British man that survived. One British Indian man, believed to be the sole survivor of that crash. Very, very spectacular news. Gentlemen, this is it. We've come to a time when these things are happening more. And take note that this flight is Boeing. George, Boeing again.
Yeah, actually, the report that we're talking about, the Air India that is bound for London, that crashed in a place called Ahmedabad or whatever, shortly after takeoff, about 5 minutes or thereafter. Actually, okay. So about 242 people were in the flight. Only one person survived, and out of all of those, his name is Ramesh. Actually, that was sitting on 11A. How he made it is a miracle. We still have to find out. But like you said, the crash occurred in a residential area, and 8 people actually died. They already reported dead. Down there. So we saw that Modi, the Prime Minister of India, visited the site and also visiting some of the people. And out of the total flight, 169 were Indians, about 53 were from Britain, and then 8 Portuguese and 1 Canadian. We lost somebody there. So far, what we heard is that DNA samples have been taken, from the families in order to identify the bodies, and that's where we are today. But when it comes down to it, this flight actually was having some issues prior to.
Okay.
That's what they reported, and for some reason, they might have ignored some of the whatever signs that were taking place, and for this thing to happen the way it did. The only thing is for us to wait until the black box is found, and then they can identify exactly what happened. But for the flight to just lose control like that, 5 minutes after takeoff, that means that whatever the case might be, who knows? Until we see, then Boeing might be in trouble again, or maybe Boeing might be exonerated in this one. We don't know. Because the fact of the matter is, sometimes we blame the manufacturer, but it is actually the individual who is operating the aircraft who might be ignoring some things and say, oh, we'll fix it, or maybe for some crazy reason the maintenance was not well done, and then you see such tragedy take place. We have to be very careful.
Yes. Raji, how did Nigeria see this?
It's very tragic, and condolences to all the families who lost loved ones in that tragic accident.
Thank you.
It's actually interesting to note that air travel has become so safe, considering the amount of planes in the air. So when something like this happens, it gets international interest immediately. As George said, if there were some issues with the plane before, during the previous flight, and nothing was done, then there might have been some level of negligence on the side of the operators of the machine. But Boeing is coming up now with a lot of flack, because almost in the last 10, 15 years, almost every plane that has crashed, every big plane that has crashed has seemed to be Boeing. And for that, their former CEO had to be taken out because he was putting more interest in the bottom line than in the safety of the planes that they manufacture.
Plane. Okay. Thank you, Raji. BD, I know when women hear crash, they feel so bad. It touches you more because you're thinking of lives, people dying like that, very gruesome death. Tell us, how do you feel and what's your update from that end?
I felt really bad. I'm even still feeling bad. And the one that even got me was the man who is an India based in UK. I've lived there for 6 years. A software engineer who had the dream of relocating his family, and he has been on the visa. He was denied the first time, and this time around they granted him the visa. He went to India, picked his family, and bedded farewell to their family. 5 of them died. Oh God, it's honestly, I'm still crying, honestly. And they say that they are going to do a thorough investigation. They don't want to be on assumption. They want to do some examination, do some tests, and then get from the black box and the flash data for them to, before they can say anything, and then caution people from assumption. Even from people are saying that the flight might be old, a lot of things. So they have warned people to stay away from assumption. They want to do thorough investigation before they can say anything. And for the guy that walked out of that flight alive, I don't know if I should say it's destiny or luck. I'm telling you, he said when he woke up, he saw bodies around him. Only the sight of that can even kill that guy the second time. And I just pray that people should be around him, because that sight is going to turn that guy for life.
Yes, viewers. What we just saw is what we're seeing now again is the survivors. These are I'm sorry, those that died.
It's still touching me. I'm still feeling for that. Even as I'm speaking, I'm just remembering their family, the fortitude to be at the great loss. It's a big loss.
Okay, thank you, BD. The clip we're seeing are those that were in that crash. These are the 2 pilots. This is the only man that survived. That man, BD, you were talking about. This couple were also confirmed in the crash. This family too, and these are some of the ones SSM could get hold. These are some British passengers also in that crash. Sad indeed. The George said the Indian Prime Minister Modi has promised to do something. He sent his condolence. Also, the owners of that airline, Tata owns the airline. They say they are offering around 86,000 pounds to each family that has this person in that crash. 86,000 pounds. I don't know how money could be equated to people's life, but 86,000 pounds. Sad indeed. Sad story. Gentlemen, let's let's go get a glass of water as we take a break, mourning the Indian crash. We'll be back. Thank you.
Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
A year ago, I wrote a book titled The Final Solution, and I was trying to say to the rest of the world that there are challenges ahead. Now, a prophecy did come, and that prophecy is coming to pass. But I'm telling you, the final solution has been found many years ago in the Bible, because the Bible simply says righteousness exalts a nation and sin is a reproach to the people. So I want you to know that you can get solutions to problems in Ukraine, in Russia, in Nigeria, indeed all parts of the world. We need that solution, and the solution is straightforward. Please get a copy of my book. It's the Final Solution by Bishop Schengen Johnson, and you can find it in Kindle, in Amazon. Just type Bishop Schengen Johnson. The Final Solution. It will come. It's very, very small book you can read within 2 hours, but it contains the final solution. Do get a copy. Not getting it is doing disservice to humanity. Don't forget The Final Solution.
Hi there, I'm Mary Keurig, and I am a businesswoman in the United States, but I'm also the Global Content Vice President for the Sub-Saharan Open University in Nigeria. I could not be prouder to work with Dr. Osita Anamika and his team on helping to create not just entrepreneurs and skill-based talent that will get out into the workforce and make a living for themselves, but also young leaders. And to that end, with this integrity-rich university environment that's accredited now, and it's just an amazing opportunity for anyone there of any age to jump on board and learn, we want to let you know about a new offering that we have. We have a global governance and diplomacy course now provided by a whole team of people that crosses several countries to put together these resources and lots of great information for those of you who might be on the path toward public service and diplomatic service, NGO leadership, that sort of thing. We hope that you will walk through this open door and enjoy.
Gentlemen, we're back. Are you there, Raji? Are you there, George?
Yes.
PD? Before we go on, let's also appreciate our viewers. We have many people following us, guys. And also one is putting on statements here. He says, I think that was when we were talking about the Indian crash and other stories. Olayiwola Bola said that that's a very useful information. So, Bello, sorry.
Bello.
Olayiwola Bello, sorry. Said a very useful information. Raji, we hope your network is placing back. Okay, let's come to more story, George. We're getting some other information here. I want us to come to June 12th. BD, yesterday was June 12th. June 12th in Nigeria is a very significant day. We call it Democracy Day. And a lot of events happened yesterday in Nigeria, a lot. So let's start with BD. Let me start with you. How was June 12th? Our president gave promises to defend free speech. He said a lot on June 12th, Democracy Day. Meanwhile, the man is doing a lot of things against democracy. Like the words of somebody we'll talk about later. There's a particular man that made some very strong comments against what the president is doing. Let's hear that comment, then you guys will talk. June 12th. We're talking about June 12th.
Of all the things the president said, the president was silent about River State. You have a military administration in the midst of a democracy that we are celebrating today. Of all days, why did the president and the Senate president choose today, being Democracy Day in Nigeria, to read those undemocratic and unconstitutional and illegal communications to the National Assembly? That tells you how the APC has reduced Nigeria's democracy to. I take very strong objections to that. The president missed a golden opportunity to raise and deepen democracy in Nigeria by restoring on today's Democracy Day democratic and normal civil constitutional rule in River State. But you cannot be celebrating democracy. You cannot be flaunting yourself as a Democrat on the one hand, and on the other hand, be trampling democracy under your big presidential foot. Today is about respecting and upholding the democratic rights under the Constitution and the laws. So I'm disappointed, firstly, that the president never said a word about the undemocratic developments in Rivers State, which he has enabled, which he has brought about, which he has sanctioned, and which he continues to sustain. And creating an impression as if all is well. No. As long as any part of Nigeria is under military rule, democracy is endangered in Nigeria as a whole.
Okay, gentlemen, bold statement. I brought that specially for us here because that was the only person that spoke on yesterday's event that had meaning to me. Now that's Henry Sariaki Dixon. He's a lawyer and a politician, now presently a senator representing Bayelsa West. He was one time governor of Bayelsa State from February 2012 to February 2020. BD, let me start with you on this one. Democracy Day, what's your overview of yesterday's event?
Yesterday's event was just a fun fair, normal fun fair we normally have in Nigeria. There is nothing democratic that we celebrated yesterday. Even starting from President's speech, when he had a joint session with them at the National Assembly. His speech, what is democracy? Democracy, they say, is the government of people, by the people, and for the people. People were
Okay, I think we're losing BD there. BD, okay. Let's give her time
that we've not been, expressing the necessary questions. He talked about him being happy in other opposition party being in disarray. That's the president who said he's celebrating, he believes in democracy. That's a president who said he fought democracy. I like when he was giving his speech, he said he was part of those people who fought for democracy, for people to have voice in the 80s, in the early 70s. But what do we have in Bola Ahmed Tinubu presidency today? He has been silencing people. He doesn't allow people to have their own views on things. Journalists, if you want me to give you number and names, journalists in Nigeria are being whisked away on a weekly basis. Because of what? Because of they have a different view from what this government stands for. And like Saraki Dixon said, you can't tell us you're celebrating democracy when you're not even obeying the democracy, when you're not even obeying the rule of law in a state, in a country you claim to be the president. It's not possible. Do you understand? Now you went to Rivers State. When there's no problem in Rivers State, and created a problem there, and instead of you to stand up as a father, as a president, to do something, what did you do? You removed the governor for 6 months, now impose a military system of government, and you come out to tell us it's democracy. There's nothing there. So we did not celebrate democracy yesterday. It started with protest. Nigerians said they are protesting because of hardship.
Thank you. All right, BD. Thank you very much. You've told us how it is. Raji, you also there in late Nigeria and Democracy Day. What will you say?
What did they get, Nigeria?
Like BD had mentioned,
hunger in Nigeria.
It was just a fun fair. It was a fun fair. Democracy doesn't have much meaning to the president himself, because
Abuja, they use tear gas, they use police to stop.
It's okay.
Can you mute?
Yeah, no, it's okay. Go ahead, Raji. BD.
Now, when some people wanted to demonstrate, to make a procession yesterday, they were shut down. The right to protest is one of the fundamental rights of any citizen in a democracy, the right to protest. And if you stop people from protesting, from venting out their whatever they have against the government, or for or against the government, you stop the process of genuine democracy. Just like the BD mentioned, how can a president who loves democracy be happy that there's disarray in the camps of those who are going to challenge him? He's very happy at what is happening with the other parties because they are in disarray, and therefore they will not afford a united front to his audacity. So just a fun film.
Just as fun fair, George. But one thing we saw yesterday, that one important thing is Tinubu gave some people some award, and he also conferred some posthumous national honor on Sarowiwa. Remember Sarowiwa and 8 of his kingsmen. So recognizing Sarowiwa matters too now. You know.
Yeah, it does.
Yes. George, tell us what's your overview on the Democracy Day yesterday, June 12th?
Well, Democracy Day in Nigeria commemorates the return of democratic rule after years of military coup and authoritarian regimes. So what we saw, originally it was being actually celebrated on May 29, marking the President Olusegun Obasanjo's in 99 inauguration. It was changed in 2018. June 12th to honor MKO Abiola, presumed winner of the annulled 1993 elections. So, after 25 years, yeah, indeed, we can talk about celebrating democracy. Our democracy is not perfect. We understand that. Are there places to fix, things to do to make it even, better? If you look at what is happening in the U.S. today, Los Angeles and a few other states, whereby Donald Trump is now declaring war, bringing military, Marines over, simply because they wanted to protest against his authoritarian attitude in deporting people without going through the due process. So, that is an encouragement for us to a degree that in the United States, who cries about democracy so much, is violating the constitutional rights of states being independent. So we have a lot to achieve. I hail the president for honoring Ken Saro-Wiwa, that was killed, during the military regime. So these things, I do understand that, when it comes to election rigging, suppression of protest, and punishment of free speech in Nigeria, we have a lot to achieve. We are not there yet. We have a long road to travel, but so far so good. Koni Bajo. So that's all I can say for now.
Koni Bajo. Nice. Yes. Okay, gentlemen, also added to what was happening, the son of the Abiola that this day centers on, that Democracy Day. The son, that's the son there. The son came out and said that his dad would have done far better than what is happening now if they have allowed him be the president. So that's MKO Abiola's son with one of the wife, the one that was also shot, Kudirat Abiola. So, judging from that comment, Raji, what will you say? Would MKO would he have been a better leader, like the son is claiming, Raji?
From all indications, MKO Abiola came into politics to make Nigeria much better. If he had been president, I'm sure we'll be having a much better country than we have today. He was an accountant, and one of the statements he made, which might have been what went against him, was the fact that was the fact about Nigeria's indebtedness to IMF and the World Bank. What he said was that as an accountant, if anybody presents an invoice for some outstanding payment, you have to check to confirm that payment. You will not just go about trying to pay. If his father died and the people came after his death to say that your father owed me 5,000 naira, you won't just go ahead and pay. But you will do a historical analysis of it to ensure that indeed his father was owing. And I think that's one of the things that was really against him. Because at the time of Obasanjo's exit in 1979, Nigeria was actually a net lender to the IMF until Obasanjo took $1 billion loan. By the time Obasanjo came back, the debt had ballooned to more than 32 billion in less than 20 years. So, and that was one of the things that Abiola was going to question. That how did we get so much indebtedness between 1979 and 1993 when he was supposed to have come in? And then he was very, very specific about the steps he was going to take. Abiola has been in the forefront of reparations for slavery. And therefore his stance globally was frightening to the international monopoly finance that was trying to put Nigeria under its feet. Yes,
thank you, Raji. Raji, good viewpoint, good insights for us there.
I just wanted to make a mention also.
Okay.
I just wanted to make a mention about the subject of Ahmed Tinubu and
yes, that's what I want to ask. Right?
Yeah,
let BD give us. BD, very interesting statement the man made. The president made. He said it's a pleasure to see his oppositions in disarray. That sounds so harsh. Would you tell us how are Nigerians taking that comment? That's
But that one thing with human beings is that when people tell us who they are, we don't want to take it. We always want people to be who we want them to be. President was not being dramatic about it. He was practical. He was plain. He said it. And not just saying it, that is what he has been living out for months, for over a year. All his plan is to bring Nigeria to one party system. And he said it, that he's happy seeing them in disarray. And that fuels him. And that's actually what he's praying for. And that he will not be the one to come and fix their party for them. Like they can't feed their party. That's good for him. Do you understand? So it's very, very unfortunate that he is actually the one fueling that disarray, but he will still come and mock them for it. So Nigerians are not really happy about it. If you check around, listen all everywhere in Nigeria, all the media houses, all the platform, has been the debate. But he did not lie. He has lived it. He has showed us, and he not confirming it. We've been saying it that president is actually pushing Nigeria into a one-party. If you listen to that, that's initially he was like, I'm not pushing Nigeria into one-party system. If it's what you people are saying, well, you're entitled to your own opinion. But to finalize his saying, he said, even though I said I am not pushing Nigeria into a one-party state, I am happy that your party is in disarray. What does that say? It says that he's actually doing it, and he owes you no explanation for it. So it's up to us.
George.
Hold on.
George, what about when he says APC that he wants Wike to join APC when he's ready? Go ahead. You have something to say.
Let me tell you something. Let's not be sensational about all this and be emotional. It's political strategy. Okay, I am not into agreeing that we should have one-party state, but because of the weakness of the democracy in our system and in our culture, That is the reason why there are no ideological differences between all the parties. And that is the reason why it's easy for one to jump from one party to another. And most of them have done it. So in essence, really, he say, I'm not going to shut the door to the opposition members who want to join the ruling party. He's not supposed to shut the door. But the question is, are they violating their constitutional setup for somebody jumping from one party to another when they are still under the mandate of the old party that they joined the former party with? So that's the major question. He emphasized that he will not interfere in the internal affairs of the opposition. No, if he's not directly doing it, it's not an allegation that he is doing it. Because there is no, you can't bring any paper that says, okay, Tinubu told this person, join my party. When he's talking about, what's his name, when he's ready to come, if you were to be the president, Wike, to cross over, if you were to be the president, would you not want that to happen? So in essence, really, all these things are political strategies. When they're condemning his position, he's not forcing anybody to join. People, because of their own greed or because of whatever the political expediency or what I will call taking the path of least resistance, most of them are jumping over because that's where the safety net is.
That's where the safety net is.
That's what.
All right, George. Thank you. Gentlemen, you've all said it well. Raji, yesterday also, while all this was happening with the June 12th, Airpeace was having confrontations with a one-time governor of Edo State, Oshiomhole. Oshiomhole accused Airpeace of flight disruption. Airpeace accused Oshiomhole of flight disruption, and so much was going on there. Tell us what was happening.
In the midst of what Airpeace said and what Oshiomhole said is the truth. But I want to go with Oshiomhole. Even though I don't like him, he's dark and short and ugly. But his point, when you listen to him very well, and when you listen to what other travelers were saying, was that a lot of people who probably bought ticket online and then booked online, bought ticket online. By the time they came to the airport the next morning, conditions were made such that they were not able to travel with their booked flight, even though they have checked in online. And then Airpeace was selling tickets to other people behind the scene and making more money. And even those who have booked and bought their ticket before were expected to put in more than 100,000 extra naira before they could be put on the next flight. It's not that they missed their flight, it's just that circumstances at the checking in made it impossible for them to board their flight. It's a good thing that Oshiomhole was affected, and therefore he was able to stand up and fight for the others who do not have the kind of voice that he has.
Okay.
He was given an option to have gone on board, but he refused. He said he was not going to go on board, but he would ensure that other people who have been affected by the same situation will be favorably addressed.
Okay, I need to come in here.
Come in, George. Come in.
You see, let me tell you something. Okay, the impetus that this man has to go over there and start disrupting things at the airport, it is so messed up that Olayinka Raji, and I am so surprised that you will even buy into this claim that this man was making. No, I am very surprised. So let me just finish up. Let me finish up. I didn't say anything. I don't know. It's not personal, because to believe this idiot, and I call him an idiot. No, because the kind of mess he made at the airport is so disrespectful. Can you be quiet? Quiet, please. Let me talk. Thank you. What I'm saying is this: from what we know about politicians in Nigeria, what Airpeace is saying, that this man is falsely accusing them, is 100% correct. because the impetus that they have, they think they can go. They shut down. This man jumped over the conveyor belt and was doing all kinds of things. Is that because he feels like he is an authoritarian, who can stop everything from moving because he is a senator or former governor of, I'm not biased. Just be quiet. Let me finish what I'm saying. You can talk afterwards. You can see even APCs demanding footages to show that the man showed up late. Number two, that there are 30 seats still left. That there was not, that as he was claiming that they were selling extra tickets. And they will show you also, if investigation is done, that this man was lying. So you see, he messed himself up there, and he's trying to find a way, to regain respect for himself. But it's already too late. And let me tell you something. When that investigation comes out, you will find out actually that he was lying. He just disrupted the whole entire operation because he's a senator. It happens in Nigeria all the time, and this man also is part and parcel of the whole thing. Because it does happen with them
all the time.
Why would he go to the airport and start messing up with all the integrity and dignity that he has? He cannot condone himself by telling his goons to go ahead and do this. You're part of the problem in Nigeria. You are a part of the problem in Nigeria, if you're not careful, because of the way you think.
BD, what we had was the senator was
you are thinking that somebody is a liar.
BD,
just wait until the investigation comes out. You will find that as a matter of fact, do you know what? Somebody already posted the time that he arrived at the airport. When he was coming in, posted with the time that the man was lying. When this investigation comes out, you will see it completely. So you should not back up that lying.
All right, let's hear from BD. BD follows this issue. More. Good.
You see what happened in airports that day was this. Oshiomhole came in, the flight was supposed to be 6:30. And Oshiomhole came in when the boarding had finished. That's 6 minutes past 6. And the boarding has finished. They've closed boarding. So when he got in, they told him, Oga, they've stopped boarding, which means you've missed the flight. But on one of the staff getting to find out who he was, he said, Oga, let me see what I can do to assist you. He said, no, I don't want preferential treatment. I want my rights. Now, if Oshiomhole is talking about his rights, by standard of aviation, he has missed his right because the boarding time has passed. He said, no, he wants his rights. Do you understand? And they expected him to pay some certain amount so that he can be in the next flight. He said, no, he wants his rights. And he started making noise, and that was what happened. He said, what I've got to say about this? The truth is this. Oshiomhole expected that all roads, all doors should be closed because he's Oshiomhole. He was once a governor of a state in this country. He was once a APC chairman. You see, that is it. And that is why we are where we are. Yes. Things are not done in this country because this is the way it should be done. They get things done for them, and that's why laws are not working in this country. Because if we live in a country where everyone obeys the law, this country will function. He refused to obey the law because he's Oshiomhole. And that was actually what got the airline operators angry, and he started making noise. Even when they said, we will help you, he said, no, you don't help me. It is my right. If it's your right, you should have come earlier because the boarding takes time. You can't be coming into the airport when you have things to boarding and other things, maybe 15 minutes or 20 minutes to the time of your flying. If you want to do that, you would have sent somebody to do those things for you. Then you walk in and walk into your flight. But he never did that, and he wanted it to.
He'd already checked in.
No, he was never checked in. He didn't check.
He checked in online, and he had no luggage. He checked in online, and he had no luggage.
What does that have to do with the door being closed?
That was what he was saying.
When they start checking. What does that have to do with the timing? When the door is closed, you're not supposed to pass. So when they close that door, it's over.
The point I'm trying to make here, you see what Oshiomhole is dragging for. It's doable if we make it a law in this country. But you cannot feel oh, it's okay when an ordinary person go through such thing. And when it is your time to go through such thing, it becomes an issue. And that is why we are where we are today. Do you understand? Oshiomhole overreacted because of who he is. And what actually got him angry that, why would they treat me like this? Do they not know who I am? But if we're actually obeying the laws in this country, it does not matter who you are. It matters the law, and everyone must obey the law. Unfortunately, we don't obey the law in this country, and that was why we saw that mess at the airports that day. It's a pity.
It's a pity.
Mess, actually.
Yes, a real one. So anyway, gentlemen, this is it. Also, we want to appreciate the federal government for giving some people some award yesterday. Same yesterday. Some people have actually made some contributions in our country that deserves to be recognized. We see Bekoram Sonkuti. I personally follow him. We see Ken Saro-Wiwa. We see some real Nigeria. Rwani. Yes. So
and my dear friend Babarin Sadari.
Good. Yes. Tell us, Bomon Liz, what list do you see there again? It's about 20 something of them.
Yes.
But yes. I see Wale Soyinka too.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
He deserves it.
Yes.
Well, this is it, guys.
Actually, I'm really, really happy and impressed by the list of people who were giving the merit awards. Yes. Very happy about them. Yeah.
So are you giving thumbs up to our president?
No, he can't be always wrong. He can't be always right. Even the jet clock is twice a year.
Want to thank you. Yeah, want to thank you for coming and beautiful, well articulated informations you've been giving us.
For remembering those people. But now my question is this: of what use is it for those posthumous award? Those people who have died. Do you understand? Like people are saying, there are a lot of people who need that award who are still living. Why wouldn't him have given it to them? What is the need of giving to the next ones those awards? When Nigeria failed to recognize them when they were alive, of what use is it to them and their families?
Well, their names are being repolished. Their names are being rebaptized in the memory of others. They suffered great things, and then finally somebody decided to recognize them and then to honor them, and especially with their family members who lost.
Especially those who were murdered by the state.
I agree with you.
Like Ken Saro-Wiwa, and
it's good to recognize them, but who have paid more attention in recognizing the ones who are still alive now?
There are some that are alive that he recognized. So
a lot
of them.
All right, gentlemen, we have to go. We have to go. Thank you. We did. The network allowed 10 more minutes. George, thank you. Yes. Anybody has some last words for today?
Well, I will also conclude by saying, thank God it's Good Friday, TGIF. But also, I want to bless Nigeria and bless our president and all the rulers, that God will grant them, the wisdom that they need to continue to lead our nation. But not only that, to eradicate corruption from our country. And so that there will be, instead of Japa syndrome, there will be brain gain.
Rapper coming back. All right.
That's right.
BD, you have any words? Yeah, any last statements for today?
Yeah, my statement is this. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, thank you for those you remembered and still remember others who are still living. But most importantly, get back to democracy, which you fought for when you were a little bit younger. And a lot of people actually, decided to let you be when you grabbed this power, thinking that being somebody who has fought for democracy, you will do better. But unfortunately, you're not doing better. This is not democracy in Nigeria. You can't be holding people down in one hand and singing democracy in another hand. No, that is not true. So please revert back if actually you mean what you're saying, because all what you're saying is different from what you're doing.
Powerful.
When I looked at the list, I told myself, I hope and I pray that this will be a turning point in the policies of Tinubu, that he spoke like his old self when he was fighting against oppression. I hope by this will be that Democracy Day celebration will be a turning point. That I pray that it shall be. I pray for his sound health, especially his mental health. I pray that because his success in running this country better is
It's
also
our
my
success.
Yes.
Great.
So,
Yes.
Talk
But
nice
have you guys noticed something that this guy, this our president, he is so articulate and very vibrant. I think Madam must have treated him right for this Democracy Day before he came out. He's good.
That's what I said. Yes.
Thank you. All right, guys, we have to go. We'll see you Monday between the line. George, thank you. Raji, BD, awesome, beautiful outing here. God bless you all until we come again. Bye bye.
Salute.